Your kidneys could already be slowly failing today, and you wouldn't even realize it. Doctors warn, after 60, most people ignore these 8 dangerous signals until it's far too late. Sign 8. Persistent fatigue that doesn't go away. Fatigue is something all of us experience from time to time. A late night, a long day of errands, or a poor night's sleep can leave you dragging your feet the next day. But there is a very different kind of tiredness that older adults need to pay close attention to. The deep, heavy exhaustion that doesn't lift, even after a full night of rest. If you are over 60 and find yourself constantly drained, it may not be just age. This unrelenting fatigue can be a signal that your kidneys are slowly losing their ability to keep your body balanced. Here's why. One of the kidney's important jobs, beyond filtering waste, is producing a hormone called erythropoietin. This hormone tells your bone marrow to create red blood cells, the very cells responsible for carrying oxygen through your bloodstream to every corner of your body. When your kidneys weaken, they make less of this hormone. That means fewer red blood cells are produced, oxygen transport drops, and tissues and muscles throughout your body begin to starve for fuel. The result is anemia, a common complication of chronic kidney disease, and with it comes that bone-deep exhaustion many describe as walking through quicksand. What makes kidney-related fatigue especially sneaky is how it masquerades as normal aging. You may blame your tiredness on getting older, on being less active, or on stress. But while those factors can certainly play a role, kidney fatigue feels different. It's persistent, it doesn't fade after a nap, and it can hit hard even after mild exertion, climbing a few steps, carrying groceries, or taking a short walk. Some people also notice dizziness, shortness of breath, or difficulty concentrating, because oxygen-starved tissues include the brain and muscles, as well as the heart. Sign 7. Swelling in ankles, feet, or hands, edema. Another silent but visible warning of kidney trouble is swelling, particularly in the ankles, feet, or sometimes the hands. This happens because healthy kidneys regulate salt and fluid balance in the body. They act as filters, constantly removing excess sodium and water so your tissues don't hold onto too much. But when the kidneys weaken, this filtering process falters. Fluid begins to collect in tissues, and the result is swelling, also called edema. At first, the changes may seem minor. You might notice that your socks leave deeper marks on your skin, or your shoes feel tighter by the evening. Rings may suddenly be harder to slide off. Over time, the swelling becomes more noticeable. Ankles may puff up, legs may feel heavy and stiff, and in the morning, you might wake with puffiness around the eyes. Many seniors dismiss this as poor circulation or just standing too long, but persistent swelling is a very real sign that the kidneys are no longer keeping up with fluid balance. Why is this so concerning? Because swelling is more than cosmetic. It reflects a chain reaction happening inside the body. Excess sodium and water in the bloodstream raise blood pressure, which then puts extra strain on the already struggling kidneys. This creates a dangerous cycle. Weak kidneys cause fluid retention, which raises blood pressure, which damages the kidneys further. Left untreated, fluid can also begin to accumulate in the lungs, causing shortness of breath or put strain on the heart, increasing the risk of heart failure. Even mild swelling deserves attention. If you find that your lower legs or ankles seem consistently puffy, or that your shoes no longer fit comfortably despite no change in weight, it's worth mentioning to your doctor. Simple lifestyle adjustments, such as reducing sodium intake, elevating the legs, or using prescribed diuretics, can help. But the bigger message is this: persistent swelling is not just an inconvenience of age. It is your body waving a red flag, warning that your kidneys may be under serious stress. By paying attention to these physical signals, fatigue that doesn't fade, and swelling that doesn't resolve, you can take action early. Kidney disease often progresses quietly, without dramatic pain or obvious symptoms, until it reaches an advanced stage. But your body does whisper warnings. The key is not to ignore them. Listening to these early signs after 60 can make the difference between managing kidney health successfully and facing much more serious complications down the road. Sign 6. Changes in urination patterns. One of the most important but often ignored warning signs of declining kidney health is a noticeable change in urination. Since the kidney's primary job is to filter waste and produce urine, Even small changes in how often you go, how your urine looks, or how it feels to urinate can reveal that the filtration system is under stress. When kidneys begin to fail, you may experience more frequent urination, especially at night, a condition called nocturia, less urine output than usual, even if you are drinking the same amount of fluids, foamy or bubbly urine, which may indicate protein is leaking into the urine, a hallmark of kidney damage. Blood in the urine, which could signal not only kidney disease but also stones, infection, or more serious issues. Pain or burning with urination, often pointing to infection, which can be particularly dangerous if kidneys are already weakened. For seniors, these changes are often brushed aside as simply part of getting older. Waking up multiple times at night to urinate, for example, may be blamed on prostate issues in men or bladder weakness in women. But when these patterns appear alongside other warning signs, like swelling, fatigue, or unexplained changes in appetite, it is a strong indication that kidney function is involved. The future risk here is that these changes can creep up so gradually that you normalize them. You may not even realize how much your patterns have shifted until you stop to think, why am I waking up 3 or 4 times every night? Or, why is my urine suddenly frothy? The earlier you connect the dots, the better. Urinalysis and kidney blood tests are simple, inexpensive, and can catch kidney decline before it advances. Recognizing these subtle shifts in something as routine as urination can truly be life-saving after 60. Sign 5. Shortness of breath and difficulty breathing. At first, the idea that kidney trouble could affect your breathing may sound unusual. But the kidneys are closely tied to both the heart and lungs, and when they begin to fail, shortness of breath is one of the more serious consequences. There are 2 main reasons this happens. Fluid buildup in the lungs. When kidneys can't remove excess fluid from the body, that fluid doesn't just stay in the ankles or legs. Over time, it can accumulate in the chest cavity and the lungs themselves, a condition called pulmonary edema. This makes it harder to breathe deeply, leaving you short of breath even when sitting still. Some people describe it as a feeling of drowning from the inside. Anemia and oxygen shortage. As mentioned earlier, kidney decline often leads to reduced production of red blood cells. Fewer red blood cells mean less oxygen delivery to your muscles and organs. This oxygen shortage can leave you gasping for breath after activities that once felt easy, climbing stairs, walking to the mailbox, or even getting dressed in the morning. For seniors, this symptom is often misattributed to the natural aging of the lungs or conditions like asthma, allergies, or heart disease. And while those can certainly be factors, when shortness of breath appears together with fatigue, swelling, or changes in urination, the kidneys should not be overlooked. The danger of ignoring this sign is significant. Breathing difficulties related to kidney decline can progress quickly, especially if fluid is building in the lungs. This places an enormous strain on the heart and can spiral into a medical emergency. If you find yourself increasingly breathless, particularly at night when lying flat, it's important to get checked promptly. Doctors can assess fluid balance, oxygen levels, and kidney function to determine whether your kidneys are the underlying cause. Looking forward, catching shortness of breath early can prevent escalation. It can mean the difference between adjusting your care plan at home through diet, medication, or dialysis preparation, and being rushed to the hospital with severe fluid overload. The body gives you early warning, but only if you know how to listen. Sign 4. Persistent nausea and loss of appetite. One of the less obvious, but deeply unsettling signs of kidney decline is a constant feeling of nausea, sometimes paired with a disinterest in food. Many older adults brush this off as just a stomach bug or assume it's related to medication side effects. But when the kidneys fail to filter waste products effectively, those toxins begin to build up in the blood, creating a condition called uremia. This toxic overload doesn't just affect your organs quietly. It directly influences your digestive system, leaving you queasy, unsettled, and with little desire to eat. What does this look like in daily life? Some seniors describe a metallic taste in the mouth, making even favorite foods taste unpleasant. Others find that the smell of food triggers queasiness. A once healthy appetite may shrink until eating feels like a chore rather than a pleasure. Over time, this loss of appetite can lead to unintended weight loss and malnutrition, which only further weakens the body. Without adequate nutrition, muscles deteriorate more quickly, immunity drops, and energy levels plummet. It's easy to mistake this symptom for something else: indigestion, reflux, or even mild food poisoning. But when nausea lingers for weeks, or when food no longer appeals the way it used to, it is important to connect the dots with kidney health. Uremia is a dangerous sign that the body is no longer able to clear toxins effectively, and if ignored, it can progress to more severe complications. One clue that nausea is kidney-related is if it appears alongside other signs we've discussed: fatigue, swelling, or changes in urination. The body rarely sends just one signal. Paying attention to the pattern matters. Seniors often normalize small appetite changes, but unexplained weight loss or constant queasiness deserves attention. Early recognition may allow doctors to adjust treatment, recommend dietary changes, or intervene before kidney function declines further. Looking to the future, protecting kidney health means staying alert to digestive changes. A stomach that just isn't right might actually be a message from your kidneys that toxins are rising. Rather than pushing through, getting a checkup can protect not only your kidneys, but also your strength and independence. Sign 3. Trouble concentrating and mental fog. Another subtle but powerful signal of kidney decline is the feeling that your mind just isn't as sharp as it used to be. You may notice difficulty concentrating, forgetfulness, or a sense of mental fog that makes even simple tasks harder than before. While occasional forgetfulness is common with age, persistent problems with mental clarity can point to something deeper: toxins building up in the bloodstream because the kidneys can't clear them efficiently. When waste products like urea accumulate, they affect not just the body, but also the brain. This condition, sometimes referred to as uremic encephalopathy in its advanced stages, can begin with very subtle symptoms. You might find it harder to follow conversations, feel easily overwhelmed when multitasking, or lose track of what you were just doing. Tasks that once came naturally may take longer, and decision-making may feel foggy or slow. Why does this happen? Healthy kidneys ensure that your blood is clean and balanced. But when kidney function declines, the bloodstream carries higher levels of waste and fewer red blood cells, which means less oxygen reaches the brain. This double hit, toxin buildup and oxygen shortage, reduces mental clarity. Over time, seniors may even begin to notice changes in mood, increased irritability, or difficulty sleeping, all of which worsen the cycle of brain fog. Sign 2. Persistent high blood pressure that doesn't respond to treatment. High blood pressure is extremely common after 60, but when it becomes resistant to medication or lifestyle changes, it can be a strong indicator that the kidneys are failing. This relationship is two-sided. On the one hand, long-standing high blood pressure damages the tiny blood vessels in the kidneys, reducing their ability to filter waste. On the other hand, once the kidneys weaken, they can no longer regulate fluid and sodium balance effectively, which in turn pushes blood pressure even higher. This vicious cycle creates a dangerous loop. Seniors often find themselves taking multiple medications, adjusting salt intake, and exercising, yet their numbers remain stubbornly high. This is a red flag that the kidneys are no longer doing their job behind the scenes. What makes this sign particularly troubling is that high blood pressure is often silent. You may not feel any different, but inside, pressure is literally straining and tearing at the delicate filtering units of the kidneys, known as nephrons. Over time, this leads to further scarring and loss of function, making the problem progressively worse. And the danger extends beyond the kidneys themselves. Uncontrolled high blood pressure also increases the risk of heart attack, stroke, and vascular dementia, all conditions that disproportionately affect people in their 60s and beyond. Sign 1. Itchy, dry, or irritated skin that won't heal. Skin is often called the body's largest organ, and it provides one of the clearest windows into kidney health. When kidneys are functioning normally, they help balance minerals in the blood, such as calcium and phosphorus. They also remove waste products that would otherwise irritate tissues. But when kidney function drops, toxins accumulate, and mineral levels shift dramatically. The result is persistent, uncomfortable skin changes that are easy to dismiss as just dryness. Seniors may notice skin that feels itchy, almost like a crawling sensation under the surface. Lotion may provide temporary relief, but the itch returns. Over time, Scratching can create raw patches, rashes, or sores that take longer to heal. Some describe the dryness as relentless, with skin flaking despite regular moisturizers. Others develop darkening or discoloration in certain areas. This is not just a surface problem. What's happening inside is that waste products like urea are building up in the bloodstream, irritating nerve endings in the skin. At the same time, mineral imbalances disrupt the normal protective barrier, making the skin more fragile. For older adults, who already heal more slowly, this combination can lead to infections, discomfort, and even sleep disturbances, since itching is often worse at night. The key danger is that many seniors accept this as a normal part of aging or as a side effect of dry indoor air. But when skin changes persist despite good hydration, gentle soaps, and moisturizing, the kidneys should be considered. This symptom often shows up later in kidney decline, making it one of the most urgent red flags. By the time skin is noticeably affected, waste buildup is usually significant. The future lesson is that skin health is more than cosmetic. It reflects how well your body is eliminating toxins and balancing essential minerals. If your skin feels chronically itchy, dry, or irritated, especially in combination with other warning signs we've covered, fatigue, swelling, urination changes, or mental fog, it may be your kidneys sending a clear and urgent message.